that type thing. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Looks like there's 9 major stems coming from the base. And you know, those are going to get larger and larger diameter with time. So if we don't address that number of stems now, we're going to have a harder, you know, the longer we wait, the more difficult it's going to be to remove some of those stems. The area that seems to be the most problematic stem-wise is this group of 3 stems right here. 1, 2, 3. Ideally, maybe removing this stem here would be our preferred choice.
Yeah, we have options, and you always have options with pruning. There's no right and wrong. Paul initially had one idea, I had a different idea. We came to kind of a consensus of where do we want to go with this plant? How old is it? You know, where is it in the yard? It's a rather low branch spreading, has a rather attractive overall form. Some of this stuff is maybe entirely low for just general maintenance. Then we want some light and airflow to our shrubs beneath and a little definition between. So our intention initially is not to completely raise it up so it looks like the crepe myrtles behind us. That may happen years from now, but at this point I don't see why we need to do that. So we look in at the superstructure of the plant, what I was talking about in terms of finding the major problems in the tree initially, seeing that biggest problem in the tree. And what we immediately saw was this crossing condition here. So it interferes with sort of that nice flow to the outside. Then we have to look hard at, okay, we have 2 branches crossing, which one do we want to remove?
The double crossing.
Huh?
Remove the one that's double crossing.
This one?
No, the other.
This one?
No.
This?
Yeah.
That's just part of this, then we still have to cross down here.
Yeah.
So we're thinking in terms of one of these major stems needs to go. Okay? So we initially said, well, this one's on the inside, it has a whole lot of stuff around it. It's just going to be a thinning cut. We're still going to have a nice full crown. Okay, so we like that aspect. We look at the difficulty of making the final cut down here, and it's a challenging cut. We don't have room for the saw to adequately approach it. It's going to be a slow cut. It's a difficult cut. It's a cut that may require, you know, more of an advanced cut with a plunge cut with a chainsaw, which becomes a little dangerous, and you know, you might not have those tools. But we still kind of agree that this one ought to come, because if we take this one instead, we take too much of the crown. Then we said, well, it's easy to take this one if we take this with it, because it's part of the same stem. We can get it from the outside and take the whole thing. But that drives us to lose all of this lower foliage. Right? You're shaking your head. You don't like that? No. And if we take all this low foliage here, then we sort of have a plant that's up to here over here, which means all of this then looks out of place. So then we've taken a whole nother road down to raising this whole plant. I don't feel like we should be that radical with this plant at this stage. I think that could come later, but I think it fits the little landscape here. It's not interfering with yard maintenance or any of the lawnmowers, or you can walk around it. It's fairly attractive. So I think we've decided that we're going to take just this portion, and we're going to deal with that cut best we can. The other crossing, rubbing things you may notice in here is like right here we have one, and over on the other side we have sort of a roundabout crossing. So if we say, let's take the biggest one first, get it out of the plant, and take another look at the plant and see where we need to go beyond that.